Hi, YouTube.
So here we go. We're fixing to do 3.2. So 3.2 is solving systems by elimination and substitution. All right? So 3.2, solving
Oh, I left it.
systems using substitution and elimination. Okay, I'm going to hand you a worksheet today. It's going to be over 3.1 and 3.2.
Sure.
Thinking I'm going to make it due on Friday. All right, but tomorrow I'm going to give you another worksheet. So don't, but I'll give you some class time. You'll get class time tomorrow to work on them, okay? But I'm saying go home tonight, work your 10 problems off your worksheet, okay? So you don't get behind. So substitution. This is an Algebra 1 skill, guys. All of this is, except for, no, I guess all of it is. Substitution. All right, so here's what you want on substitution. You really need, now does that mean you'll always get that?
No.
No, okay, but it's going to be awesome if you do, all right? You really need one variable with a coefficient of 1, okay? One variable. So really what I'm looking for when they say I have to use, and on the worksheet there will be some problems that say you need to solve by substitution. If you don't solve by substitution, okay, then you won't get credit for them. All right, so make sure you do it. There's some that say solve by elimination, and you have to use elimination. And then there's some that say choose whichever method you want. So substitution, I'd like to have one variable with a coefficient of 1. So I will solve for that variable. And substitute in the other, that's a common mistake, equation. Okay, substitute in the other equation. All right, so I'm going to work one problem and then I'm going to let you work one problem. All right, so here's the one I'm going to work. Example 1. My system is the equations 2x plus 5y is equal to negative 5. And then x plus 3y is equal to 3. Okay, so before I get started, let me talk to you for 1 second. So this is what we're doing in 3.2. 3.3 is graphing, so that will be easy. You already know how to do it. 3.4 is going to be solving a system of 3 equations, 3 unknowns. After this task, we're going to be working towards 4 equations, 4 unknowns. All right? So listen to me, guys. If you can't do 2 equations, 2 unknowns, will you be able to do 3 equations, 3 unknowns? No. So let's work on some habits while we're doing this. The habits are going to be being organized and neat. Okay? That's going to be really important. And then when I add that 3rd equation in there, it'll add 1 step to your stuff. And you'll be like, oh, okay, that's not bad. I can do that. Okay? All right. So, the first thing I'm going to ask is, do I have one variable with an equation of, one variable with a coefficient of 1?
Yes.
Yes? Does everybody see it? What is it? Where?
The bottom section.
Yeah, in the second equation. So this x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for that x. So I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to rewrite it in another way. X is equal to, this 3y comes over here, changes its sign. The order that it's written in doesn't matter. So I'm just going to write it 3 minus 3y. And then what am I going to do with that? I'm going to substitute it in this equation right here. Okay? So everywhere there's an x, I'm going to substitute that in. So here we go. 2 Uh-oh, there's an X. What am I supposed to put?
Negative 3y.
Yeah, 3y minus 30, or 3 minus 3y. And then plus 5y equals negative 5. Okay? Now, is this stuff that we've been studying all year? Right here? Yes, there's the distributive property. Talked about that the first week of school. What is 2 times 3? What is 2 times negative 3y? Negative 6y. And then I got plus 5y equals negative 5. Now, before you start taking things across the equal sign and everything, you need to collect all your like terms on both sides. These are my like terms over here. So, what is negative 6y and positive 5y? So I got 6 minus y is equal to negative 5. Now I'm going to solve for y. Tell me what you need to do. Subtract 6 from both sides. So negative y is equal to negative 11. Now what am I going to do? Divide by negative 1. And all he's going to do is change that sign, right? Y is 11. I circle it, okay? Because right now may not be a whole bunch of stuff on my paper, but then as I start doing 3 equations, 3 unknowns, 4 equations, 4 unknowns, then this might be a little bit more difficult to find. So I'm going to circle it where it'll be easy to find. Remember that the solution to this system is simply a point, the point of intersection. This is the y value of that point. How do I find the x value? Yeah, take this y value and plug it in right here. He's telling you what x is. X is 3 minus 3 times y. What is y? 11? So x is 3 minus 33. What's 3 minus 33? What kind of 30? Negative 30. So, what's the point, guys? Negative 30, 11. Very good. Okay? Now, on this test, probably not going to give you a calculator. Okay? Probably not going to give you a calculator. So, I'm going to check these by hand. Now, at first you look at it and you go, what? I don't look at those big numbers. But watch this. Okay? So I'm going to plug it. The way I'm going to check it is I'm going to plug it in both of these equations. It has to satisfy both equations. It is the only point in the world that satisfies both of these equations. So what is 2 times negative 30? Negative 60. Okay? And then what's 5 times 11? So plus 55. It's supposed to equal negative 5. Does negative 60 plus 55 equal negative 5?
Yes.
All right. So let's check him down here. X is negative 30. Plus, what's 3 times 11? 33. It's supposed to equal 3. Is negative 30 plus 33 equal to 3?
Yes.
And that's my answer, and it checks out perfect. Does anybody have a question? Okay, so I'm going to give you one now, and I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Okay? 2 minutes. It'll be plenty of time.
Are we solving just for the y?
Huh?
Are we solving just for the y or for the point?
No, you're solving for everything. You're solving for the point, the answer. So here's your system. Your first equation is 4x plus 3y is equal to negative 2. Okay? Your second equation is x plus 5y is equal to negative 9. All right? Be neat and organized, guys. Be neat and organized. Did y'all get -2 for y?
Mhm.
Good. Okay, so now I'm gonna take that y, I'm gonna plug it in right here. Did y'all get 1 for x? So 1, -2. To check it, looks like this. I'm gonna plug it in. So 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times -2 is -6. That's supposed to equal -2. 4 minus 6 is -2. Check it down here. X is 1. 5 times -2 is -10. It's supposed to equal -9. 1 minus 10 is -9. Does anybody have a question? Okay, so let's do the next one. So that's substitution, okay? That's substitution. So now we're gonna talk about elimination. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna mark 2 problems, one together and then one by yourself. So, elimination. So this is called elimination because the object of the game is to eliminate one of the variables. So then you'll have one equation with one unknown and then you can solve for it, okay? So here's the first one we're gonna do together. Example 2, my system looks like this. 3x minus 7y equals 10. And then 6x minus 8y is equal to 8. Okay, so the first thing we gotta do is we gotta decide who do we want to eliminate, the x's or the y's.
Y.
Now, in order to eliminate them, you wanna get the same number with different signs. So then when I add my equations together, those will go away, okay? So to eliminate them, I want the same number with different signs. So I want to find the least common multiple between 3 and 6. The least common multiple between 3 and 6. Y'all listen to me. I did not say the smallest or biggest number that divides into those. I said, I don't even remember what I said.
Least common multiple.
I know, but the least common multiple is the smallest number that both of these guys will divide into. Okay? So, smaller than that. So here's the thing, kids are saying 3. A lot of kids are going 3. Will 6 go into 3? Y'all, that's not a least common multiple. It has to be at least as big as the biggest number, okay? If you don't know what it is, then you start with the biggest number right here, and you start listing its multiples. You want to find the first one that this guy will go into. What's 6 times 1?
6.
Will 3 go into it? So what's the least common multiple between 3 and 6? 6. You see what I'm saying? Could you use 12? Yes, but it'll make your numbers bigger. So we want the smallest one, okay? Can you use 3? No, because 6 will not go into 3, all right? So we're not trying to reduce them, all right? We're trying to find the least common multiple. What's the least common multiple between 7 and 8? 56. Do y'all know your multiplication facts? 56. Okay? Now listen to me. We're gonna, who do y'all choose? 56 or 6? 6. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, so I'm gonna make one of these a positive 6 and one of them a negative 6. Well guys, this guy's already a positive 6, so let's just leave him alone. What do I want to make this guy? Negative 6. So what do I multiply him by to get a negative 6? Negative 2. So I'm going to say times negative 2. Now look, that whole entire equation has to be multiplied by negative 2. This is the way I'm going to write mine. If you don't understand that that means that everything in there gets multiplied by negative 2, you might want to put some parentheses around it like this. So your brain goes, oh, I got to distribute that thing. Okay? It's whatever you need in your head. This guy, he doesn't get multiplied by anybody. I'm just going to write him down. Okay? So let's multiply this guy up here by negative 2. What is negative 2 times positive 3x?
Negative 6.
Negative 6x. What's negative 2 times negative 7y? What kind of 14y? Plus 14y. What is negative 2 times 10? Negative 20. Okay, now let's write this guy down. 6x minus 8y is equal to 8. Now, remember what I said. We want to make one of them disappear when I add them together. Y'all listen to me. I need to be able to look at your work and see what you're doing. Okay? There's going to come a point where you're going to come to my desk and say, hey, Ms. Davis, will you help me? I made a mistake and I can't find it. If your work is just like chicken scratch all over your paper, I'll be like, no, I'm not going to. That's crazy. Like, I don't even know what that is. All right? So, but I can tell. I know exactly what this person's doing. They multiply everything by negative 2. They wrote this equation down. Now, watch what I'm going to do. What does this tell someone that I'm fixing to do what?
Combine.
Yeah, I'm going to combine these two things. What's negative 6x and positive 6x?
Zero.
What's 14y minus 8y?
6y.
What's negative 20 and positive 8?
Negative 12.
I want to see that line, guys. Okay? I don't want to just have the line missing and this written there, and I'm like, what? Where did you get that? Where did that come from? The line tells me where you got it. Okay? Now I'm solving for y, so tell me what to do.
Divide by 6.
Divide by 6. And what is y equal to?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Circle it. That's half my answer. Okay? Now, I'm going to substitute it back in and find x. Which equation do I sub it back in?
The top one.
Does it matter?
No.
It's a solution to both of them, so what are we looking for? We're looking for the smallest numbers. We're looking for maybe not as many negative signs. Okay? Whatever you like. So which one do you want to use? The
Top.
first one or the second?
Top.
Okay, so I'm going to plug this y back in this equation and solve for x. So I have 3x minus 7, my y is negative 2, equals 10. So 3x, what is negative 7 times negative 2? Positive 14. Okay, so now I'm solving it. Tell me what to do. Minus 14. So 3x is equal to, what is 10 minus 14? Negative 4. And now what do I do? Divide by 3. And what's my answer? Negative 4 thirds. Do not turn that into a decimal. Okay? Do not turn that. That's crazy. I'm going to quit writing frowny faces and saying no decimals and no mixed numbers. And I'm just going to start saying minus 1. You should know by now. Okay? So leave it just like it is. Now, some of you are going to, I'm not going to check that because that's a fraction. I don't know how to do it. You need to practice on that. I'm going to practice. Watch it. It's not going to be as bad as I think. So 3 times negative 4 thirds minus 7. Notice I'm writing this one out. I didn't write any of the other ones out, but the fraction makes it a little bit harder for us. So times negative 2, and it's supposed to be 10. All right, look at this fraction. What happens to those 3s? They cancel each other out. Remember how I told y'all to divide by the bottom number, multiply by the top. How many times does 3 go into 3? 1. What's 1 times negative 4?
Negative 4.
What's negative 7 times negative 2?
Positive 14.
Is negative 4 plus 14 positive 10? All right, he checks out fine. Check him out on the second one. So 6 times negative 4 thirds minus 8 times negative 2, and that's supposed to be a positive 8. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing I just did. How many times does 3 go into 6?
2.
And what is 2 times negative 4? Negative 8. What's negative 8 times negative 2? And what is negative 8 plus 16? Positive 8. So he checks out perfect. All right, anybody got a question? You see how neat and organized all this work is? That's what I want yours to look like. Okay, so here you go. Here's your problem. 3x minus 6y equals 9. And negative 4x plus 7y equals negative 16. Okay, I'm gonna let you do it by yourself. What's your least common multiple? What's your least common multiple? Which one of those do you want to make?
Those two.
What'd y'all pick, 12s or 42s?
Well,
Good.
That was a really nice line.
Hmm?
That was a really nice line. It was like really smooth.
Did y'all get y to be 4?
CC?
Take that 4. I'm gonna plug it in the front, the top one. Shall I get 11-4? Yes? Anybody got a question? I'm gonna check it. 3 times 11 is 33.
Bless you.
Negative 6 times 4 is minus 24, and that's supposed to be 9.
Yeah.
33 minus 24 is 9. Check this one. Negative 44 plus 28 is supposed to be negative 16. And 16 and 28 do make 44. So it is. Okay, anybody got a question? Can y'all do substitution and elimination? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so we got 3 more problems to work. One's kind of long, not too long, and then 2 are really short, all right? So example number 3 is a reading problem, so I'm going to read it, When I say something that's important, tell me to stop and we'll write it down. Are you ready? Okay, so to raise money for new football uniforms, your school sells silk screen t-shirts. Short sleeve t-shirts cost the school $8 each. Okay, so let's see, short sleeves, they cost the school $8, all right? And they are sold for $11. So we're gonna sell them for $11. How much are we gonna make on each shirt? $3, okay? Long sleeve t-shirts cost the school $10 and sell for $16.
Stop.
Okay, so long sleeve cost us $10, but we sell them for $16. So let me ask you this question. Are we gonna start selling these t-shirts in August when we start school, or are we gonna wait till November? Why?
Because it's colder.
Yeah, and look, we make $6 on a long sleeve t-shirt. We only make $3 on a short sleeve. We wanna be selling the long sleeve, so yeah, we'd wait till it got a little cooler outside. All right, here's what they say. The school spends a total of $3,900.
Stop.
Okay, so they spend $3,900. And they sell all of them for $5,925. $5,925. Here's what they want to know. How many short sleeve t-shirts do we sell? How many short sleeve, oh, thank you so much. I've been missing those. Short sleeve t-shirts did we sell? All right, so we gotta make some equations, right? So y'all, is this telling you what a variable is? This is what they wanna know, right? So that's what we want our variable to be. So what are we gonna call short sleeve t-shirts?
A.
K?
A.
Oh, A. I was like, what? K? Where did that come from? So, okay, I'll go with A. A can be okay. I would have used X, but A's good. It's no big deal. So what are you gonna call long sleeves?
B.
B. Okay? All right, so here we go. Make me up an equation that involves $3,900. What is going to equal $3,900? Hello? What's it gonna be? No.
Wait, do you want us to tell you these?
Yes, I want
Oh,
you to.
8A plus 10B equals 3,900?
Yeah. See, this is the cost. This is how much it cost them, how much they spent to buy the shirts. And each short sleeve one is $8. So 8A plus 10B has to be equal to $3,900. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay? Now can you make up one that totals $5,925?
Yeah.
What's that gonna be?
11A plus 16B equals 5,925.
Yeah, that's what I sell them for. That's how much money I bring in. Okay, that's my revenue. All right,
Profit.
$11 for every short sleeve, $16 for every long sleeve. So 11A plus 16B. That's why I don't like to use B's because they end up looking like sixes to some kids. And that is $5,925. Okay. Now we got to decide who we want to eliminate. A's or B's?
B,
Yeah, why do you want to eliminate B's?
because they're both even.
No.
Because then the big,
Because look, what's your answer?
Oh, well,
Yeah, so A is my answer. Could I eliminate A if I wanted to and then come back and find it? Yeah, you could, but that would just take me more work. So I'm going to eliminate B's, all right? So, do you agree that a multiple of 10 is gonna end in a 0, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all right? George, are you with me?
yes, ma'am.
All right, so what is the smallest, gotta quit tapping. What is the smallest number that I can multiply 6 by and make it end in a 0?
10.
5.
Oh.
5.
Okay.
So, 5
Okay.
times 6, what is 5 times 16? 80.
Yes.
5 times 6 is 30, carry your 3, and 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 80. Okay, so I'm trying to make these guys 80. Okay, so what do I multiply? And one of them I want to be negative 80, and one of them I want to be positive 80, so they'll go away. What do you want to multiply the first guy by?
-8.
Negative 8. Okay, then what do I have to multiply the second guy by? 5. Okay, I like to do that first instead of doing one and then multiplying and then going back and saying, wait, now what was I trying to make? All right, so I'm multiplying everybody by negative 8. What's 8a times negative 8?
-64.
Negative 64a. What's negative 8 times 10b? Minus 80b. And watch what I'm going to do here, okay? So first of all, I know my answer is negative. Do you agree with that? All right, what's 8 times 0?
0.
What's 8 times 0?
0.
What's 8 times 9?
72.
72. So I write down a 2 and I carry the 7. Notice I'm not doing anything in my head, okay? What's 8 times 3?
24.
24 and 7 make 31. So negative 31,200. 31,200. I'm going to multiply this guy by 5. Okay? What's 5 times 11a? 55a. What's 5 times 16? Positive 80b. Okay? Watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to do the same thing I just did. What's 5 times 5? Carry your 2. What's 5 times 2? 10 plus 2 is 12. So write down a 2 and carry your 1. What's 5 times 9? 45 and 1 make 40. So write down a 6 and carry your 4. What's 5 times 5? 25 and 4 make 29. Okay, so now we're going to add them up. Don't forget to draw that line. Those b's go away. Okay? Be careful with this guy right here. The most common mistake that kids make is to write down 11. Is it 11?
No.
It's 9. Okay? And is it negative or positive?
Negative.
Negative 9a is equal to, let's subtract these, okay? Remember, we don't have a calculator. So I'm going to take the smaller from the larger, but the sign of the larger, so he will be negative. So let's see, I need to borrow, because I can't take 5 from 0. So I'll borrow here and make that a 1. This becomes a 10. I'll borrow, he's a 9, and this is a 10. What's 5 from 10? What's 2 from 9? What's 2 from 9? 7. Can't take 6 from 1, so I'll borrow 1. This becomes a 0, and this becomes an 11. What's 6 from 11? 5. Okay. Can't take 9 from 0, so I'll borrow. This will be a 2, and that'll be a 10. What's 9 from 10?
1.
And 2 from 2 is 0. So negative 1,575. Now what do I do?
Divide by -9.
Divide by negative 9. So A is equal to, a negative over a negative is a positive, and that's good, because if I had ended up with a negative, I would have said, uh-oh, I messed up somewhere. All right? So how many times does 9 go into 15? 1 time. With 6 left over, right? How many times does 9 go into 67? 7. That's 63. Okay? So that means I got 4 left over. How many times does 9 go into 45? So 175 short sleeve t-shirts.
Quick math.
Okay? Anybody got a question?
So you just wrote the remainder as the subscript?
Yeah, I did. That's how I divide it. Just so I don't have to remember things, because sometimes, especially when you're stressed on a test and you're trying to hurry, then remembering things is not, we forget them easier. Somebody does something and it distracts you, and then you don't remember it, and you have to do it again. All right, so we're going to do 2 more problems. Okay, they're both short and fairly easy, but they're kind of weird, so I want to work them for you. All right, so example 4. This is my system. X minus 2y equals 4, and 3x minus 6y equals 8. Okay, I like elimination. I don't like substitution. So I'm going to multiply this guy by -3 to get rid of these x's. Okay, so I'm gonna multiply this guy by -3. This guy, I'm just writing him down. Okay, so when I multiply by -3, tell me what I get.
Negative 3x.
-3x,
Y
what?
equals -12.
What's this?
Plus 6.
Plus 6y equals, what's this?
-12.
-12. This guy, I'm just writing him down, guys. 3x minus 6y is equal to 8. So, my x's disappeared like I thought they would, but what else happens?
The y's disappear.
Yeah, dang, I don't have anything over here. There's nothing left. What's
No
the number for
solution.
nothing?
No solution.
No,
No,
Yes.
we're like 0.
0 equals, what's -12 and 8?
-4.
-4. Is 0 equal to -4?
No.
That's a false statement, so what's my answer?
No solution?
No solution. Okay, let me ask you a question. Is this consistent or inconsistent?
Inconsistent.
Inconsistent, very good. Okay, let's do one more. It's another weird one, all right? Example 5. He looks like this. My first equation is 4x minus 10y equals 8, and -14x plus 35y is equal to -28.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to do, let's see. I could do 28s right here. Do you see how I did that? Watch that. 14 times 1 is 14. Will 4 go into 14?
No.
No. 14 times 2 is 28. Will 4 go into 28? Yes. That is my least common multiple. So that's what I'm going to make. Okay? I like to write it over here a lot of times so I don't have to remember it again. So they already have opposite signs, so I don't worry about it. What do I multiply this guy by to make a 28? 7. What do you multiply this guy by to make a 28? 2. Okay? So now I'm going to go across and multiply. Remember, everybody gets multiplied by. 7 times 4x, 28x. 7 times -10y, 70y. 7 times 8, 56. Now I'm going to multiply everything by 2 down here. 2 times -14 is -28x. 2 times 35y is 70y. And 2 times -28 is -56. Okay, so now when I add them, my x's go away, but
So do
y's
that.
do too. When you have nothing left over here, guys, what number is that? 0. Equals, what's 56 minus 56?
4.
True or false?
True.
True. Okay, so listen to me. Don't write all real numbers. I don't like that.
Oh.
Okay? I don't
Is
like
Is it
that.
like the weird R
So
shape?
we're gonna write any point on the line, and then which one do I pick?
Any.
Does it matter which line? Because what?
They're the same.
It's any point
They're
on
the
line.
same line. They're the same line. So any point on the line, and you write either one down. 4x minus 10y equals 8 is the one I'm gonna write down. Okay? So consistent or inconsistent?
Consistent.
Consistent and independent or dependent?
Dependent.
Very good. Consistent and dependent. Good job. Good job,
Now I
guys.
gotta go. s-
All right, so I'm gonna pass out your worksheet.
Oh.
I'm gonna pass out your worksheet. You need to go home tonight and do 10 problems, okay?
I don't wanna.